Yeah, so America Girl, you're in trouble. Anyway, thanks for watching the videos, guys. And if you're not subscribing already, I hope you will. And I hope you tell your friends so I can keep doing this. Um, this morning, I get up, I have my coffee, and I get contacted by text from an old friend of mine from DC who spent decades, like 40 plus years, working military national security issues. This is somebody who is not prone to hyperbole or panic. In fact, she's usually the one person when we hear something or there's a conspiracy theory or something, she'll set the record straight. This is where you should be worried. This is where you shouldn't. She was reading the Wall Street Journal op-ed about Tulsi Gabbard, and she'd already obviously been very concerned about this pick by Trump to be his director of national intelligence. But uh, this information about the cult that Tulsi Gabbard was in is so disturbing to my friend who understands these issues. And so if my friend is concerned, I'm concerned. And I'm sharing the concerns with you so that you can contact your senators and anybody else. The religious cult, it has been called a religious cult. They have their loyalty is to its founder from Hong Kong, and they've been the target of cases alleging fraud, racketeering in at least 7 countries. So you can understand why that would be the attraction for Trump, since he does the same thing. There are former Capitol Hill staffers that worked for Tulsi Gabbard who also allegedly were a member of this cult when she was a member of Congress. So this, and they have some pyramid scheme going. This with the fact that she has literally nowhere near the experience one would have to have for this position, director of national intelligence. And you look at her long history of her sympathies and her support of Putin and Russia and some other seriously bad players around the globe. And the fact that when she was named as Trump's nominee to be his director of national intelligence, the Russian network, TV network, Russia Today, were calling her, yeah, she's our girl, our girl. They were celebrating this. So this is what Russia considers to be good news for them. And if it's good news for Russia, it's probably not good news for us. So yeah, we're in trouble. The amount of access, the information that she will have access to is extraordinarily dangerous if she is indeed a traitor, and it's increasingly looking like she is. And that is very concerning. That is alarming. I mean, this is hair on fire stuff that we're talking about here. And it simply cannot happen. She simply cannot have this job. So we're hoping that this is enough for Republican senators to step up and say and nix this nomination. It is frightening, absolutely frightening. And then you put on top of that the RFK Jr. stuff, and we're just in such serious trouble. But the thing that really has me concerned, and should have everybody concerned, so if you ever had doubts that Trump is in bed with Vladimir Putin, why would he pick her? Seriously, why Tulsi Gabbard? Of all of the people who would be qualified for this job, to do the best job for an American president and for the United States of America, she's not even in the top 10, not even in the top 100. So why would Trump be choosing her for this job where she has access to so much information that would be of significant value to someone like, say, Vladimir Putin? Well, that is why. These dots are not that difficult to connect. Trump chose her to be director of national intelligence for Putin upon Putin's request and orders. There is simply no other way to look at this. And I don't think he cares that we know, because he knows that what he and Putin have been able to do to this country so far, and Elon Musk so far, is like taking candy from a baby. Okay? We let this happen. We let this happen. We're soft. We're stupid. We took our freedoms for granted. It's not like, well, there's so few people who are qualified to be director of national intelligence and no one is perfect. And, you know, every president should be able to pick their own. That is all BS. Tulsi Gabbard is clearly a Russian spy. And this has been alleged before. And the information in the Wall Street Journal and what we're seeing in the hearings or confirmation hearings is alarming. Not just the fact of her being this scary, but the fact that Trump chose her. Why he did it. And you simply cannot come up with any other explanation than this was for Vladimir Putin. And if he's doing this for Vladimir Putin, you have to think what he's done for him in the past, what he plans to do for him. You have to think of the stolen top secret classified documents that Trump took to Mar-a-Lago and had open access for any agents of Putin that were made. I mean, Trump went to his Bedminster, New Jersey resort every summer because it's too hot in Florida. And all of our top secret documents of the highest order were laying around pool rooms and then flooded accidentally on purpose to destroy some. They were sitting around in bathrooms. There was a storage unit. We saw photos of them sitting in piles, you know, on a table in the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago. And you can say, well, Trump is just stupid and sloppy, because he is. But if he was directed to leave certain documents in certain open areas so certain staff that were there really working for Putin could have access to them, then it's being done that way. We are so far past a point where we can give him the benefit of the doubt. And we cannot let Republicans in Congress support him like this. The only way is to be very loud and very vocal to Republican elected officials, to Republican senators, and let them know that if they vote for this confirmation, that is a vote for Vladimir Putin and a vote against the United States of America, because it is. Because it is. And they would be going along with it upon their own direct orders from Putin, or because they're afraid of him and Trump. But they all know, and they have to know that you know too, and you will hold them accountable, and then some. Remember the 7 senators, or maybe it was 6 senators and 1 House member, I think it was July 4th in 2017. They were summoned to Moscow by Vladimir Putin on the 4th of July, on the day that we celebrate the independence of the United States of America. And Vladimir Putin did that, and they went. Probably gathered a lot of compromise, probably scared them. He owns them. Ron Johnson was part of that group, remember? And Vladimir Putin chose that day because he wanted to show the rest of the world the control that he has over Republicans in high government positions in the United States. Now he owns the president of the United States. And Elon is there to help. It was a little different in Trump's first administration, where yes, Vladimir Putin owned him, but you know, they had to be careful. They hadn't been able to fill the ranks with loyalists at that time. And there weren't enough MAGA elected to Congress at that time. It was a lot of establishment folks that went along with it. But now they've had a few elections to kind of paper over some of that with more and more true blue MAGA traitors. And also, with no more elections for Trump, he'll either stay in office without elections or without actual real elections, or he won't. But he can do whatever he wants. And as we know, he's caving to the oligarchs. He doesn't want federal spending, not because federal spending is bad. We know now that we need it. Obviously, we need a government. It is to take that money and give it to Elon Musk and the oligarchs and the Russians. And in fact, the tariffs are there because they're at the sole discretion of the president. And he's got that account set up for the meme coin, or meme, whatever they are, the meme coins, where he literally made, I mean, untold billions, hundreds of millions of dollars overnight, you know, on paper. So, and so did his wife. So that is a way, that's an account where the bad guys, foreign entities, can just dump money in that account as a bribe, and we'll never know about it. It's not regulated. And then Trump can carve out an exemption for them on the tariffs for their particular company or industry. The for sale sign is up. It's an invitation to bribe him. Tariffs on everybody. It's going to hurt everybody unless you bribe me, unless you pay me. And that is exactly what I think is going on. And others do too. I mean, I've been reading about this. I didn't come up with this on my own, but yeah, we know Trump can be bribed. We know he's a criminal. So once you understand that he is a criminal and he is a traitor and he's working for Putin and the oligarchs, everything makes sense. The only hope we have is Republicans in Congress. We know the Democrats are going to do the right thing if you can keep Fetterman in check. My God. But it is Republicans. Now, we saw that there were 3 Republicans in the Senate that voted against the confirmation of Pete Hegseth. It was Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, and Lisa Murkowski. But they also knew that the nomination was going to go through, so their votes wouldn't matter. They knew that there would be, that J.D. Vance as vice president would do the tie-breaking vote, which he did, and that could happen now. But if we still have those 3 senators, those 3 Republicans that love their country more than they fear Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, if we have one more, Mitch McConnell, Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and one more patriot, or one more senator who learns to become more afraid of their constituents than of Trump and Vladimir Putin, then we can still save ourselves. But yeah, this is, as I said, hair on fire time with Tulsi Gabbard. We simply cannot have her as our director of national intelligence.